Hoda's Career Info is brought to you by Wright Career Fit. Finding your next job or your career path should not be a mystery that needs to be solved. Book your appointment at wrightcareerfit.com and let's have that very important career conversation.
We as women can be president of our own lives. Sometimes you hit a rock or you hit a concrete ceiling and you can't go any further. You're either going to give up, you're either going to continue knocking at that concrete wall, or you're either going to reflect and see where else can you go. And I like to talk about the follow-up piece because in job search, some people just give up. You have to start thinking that I can do this. You have to have this attitude of, yes, it's possible and I can do it. Be confident about who you are. You are going to meet obstacles, but it doesn't mean you're gonna give up. You shouldn't give up. You have value. Learn to articulate that. Ask for help. There's no weakness in asking for help.
Thank you for joining me in Season 2 of Hoda's Career Info, your career program where I seek to provide you with career advice and share stories about the great work done by career professionals. How do I accomplish this? One interview at a time. I am Hoda, your host. I look forward to another season of career chats with inspirational guests and insightful feedback from you, the audience. Ready to meet this week's guest? My guest today is Daisy Wright, founder and Chief Encouragement Officer at the Wright Career Solution. Executives, managers, and professionals hire Daisy to help them stand out from their competitors and attract the right job or career opportunity. Bottom line, Daisy helps clients find satisfying careers and get hired faster. As an ICF Associate Certified Coach, a Certified Career Development Practitioner, Certified Career Management and Executive Leadership Development Coach, Daisy's coaching practice incites awareness, inspires change, and enables clients to gain clarity and articulate their success stories through career marketing documents and during interviews. Daisy is the author of 2 books, Tell Stories, Get Hired, and the Canadian bestseller, No Canadian Experience, Say? Over the years, Daisy has contributed to more than 10 books on resume writing, career and interview coaching, and job search. As you will hear in today's episode, Daisy has also collaborated with 20 women to compile and publish a book, 21 Resilient Women, Stories of Courage, Growth, and Transformation. For all of the above, Daisy has been the recipient of several awards and recognition, including Outstanding Canadian Career Leader 3 times, and the 2018 Outstanding Interview Strategist Award from Career Professionals of Canada. Daisy has a BA in Public Administration. She's received an Alumni of Distinction Award from Conestoga College, where she earned a postgraduate certificate in career development and was nominated by the college for a 2021 Premier's Award. Daisy is a speaker, workshop facilitator, and mentor, imparting advice and support to hundreds of career practitioners and individuals entering the Canadian, US, and international labor markets. Considered a subject matter expert, Daisy has been widely quoted in the Globe and Mail and Toronto Sun, other media outlets, as well as career journals. For 2 years, Daisy was the career advisor for The Link, a program on CBC's Radio Canada International, offering advice to new immigrants to Canada. As someone who believes in ongoing professional development, Daisy earned several certifications, including ICF's Associate Certified Coach, Certified Career Management Coach, Certified Executive Leadership Coach, Certified Career Development Practitioner, Certified Resume Strategist, Certified Career Transition Coach, Certified Work-Life Strategist. Daisy is a member of the International Coach Federation, ICF Toronto Chapter, Career Professionals of Canada, and a member of Forbes Coaches Council. And last but not least, in 2016, Daisy launched the Let's Grow Project, an initiative to offer one high-touch, high-value coaching conversation to encourage, uplift, and empower women. One of the highlights of her career was her employment with the UNIFEM, now UN Women, in New York, an assignment that contributed tremendously to her ability to understand and work with people from a variety of cultures. I look forward to hearing your thoughts on the tips and advice Daisy shares. Let's go! Thank you so much, Daisy Wright, for accepting my invitation to come to this Career Info and have a career chat with me. I'm very happy that you're here. And right away, I gave you a challenge and we agreed to let you decide on the word. As one of the goals of this interview is to have a career literacy discussions, the career word that I am trying to promote. And I was wondering what your career term is and how would you define it from your perspective and from the work that you do?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for inviting me. I know you have interviewed a couple of my friends. So when I read about the work you were doing and realized that you had interviewed Maureen and Wayne, I said I just couldn't wait for my opportunity. So thank you so much. In terms of my word, I would say it's actually a phrase and it's career compass. And the reason I've chosen that phrase is, people are usually looking for direction. So whether as career development practitioners and we're helping people to navigate their pathway, it's helping them to focus. Where do you want to go? And how can you get there? What tools do you need to get there? So you really need direction. And that's why I decided to choose the term career compass because it gives people an indication of, yes, I'm going somewhere and I need the tools to get there. And who better to assist with these tools more than career development practitioners like myself and you?
Thank you so much for taking on this challenge, Daisy. And I'm going to move on to ask you. I have a very good idea about your background, and you have accomplished so much. But can you tell the audience a little bit about your background, how you came to the career development field, and then what drives you to continue to do the work that you do?
Well, sometimes you hit a rock or you hit a concrete ceiling and you can't go any further. And then you have two choices. You're either going to give up. Well, three choices actually. You're either going to give up, you're either going to continue knocking at that concrete wall, or you're either going to reflect and see where else can you go. And that happened to me in the corporate arena where I just wasn't getting to where I thought I wanted to go. There were just so many obstacles. And rather than being sorry for myself, I decided to explore some opportunities. And my first stop, funny enough, was with a career coach. And I remember her asking me two questions. She said, have you ever taught? And immediately I said to her, no. But I had forgotten I had taught some long time ago. But the conversation with her kind of brought it right back. And then she said, look back in your background. What else have you done? And I said, well, I was involved in public relations. That was where I started my career, actually. And, after we had that conversation, I went home and I started some reflection. And the first thing that came to mind is, yes, you're a good writer. So why not formally start something, do resume writing? Because I was doing that on the side. And I said, okay, good. I was doing that. People were, getting interviews and all of that. I said I could do that. At the same time, concurrently, I also decided that I would explore some teaching opportunities, because then I remember that I had done some teaching. I had done some training within my work, not official. I was not an official trainer, but I was the one training people on new equipment, things like that. And so I sent out my resume to all the colleges in the Greater Toronto area. And Sheridan College was the only one to respond. The lady called me and she said, we would love to have someone like you, but we don't have a vacancy right now. But I was thrilled. At least I got a call. And so I told her many thanks. And 6 months later, I followed up. And I like to talk about the follow-up piece, because in job search, some people just give up. The moment they hear no, then they give up. I followed up in 6 months, and I was speaking with a different lady at this time. And I followed up and I said, I had applied, anything happening there? And she said, you know what, come for an interview. And I went for the interview, and 2 weeks later, I was teaching in the Faculty of Business at Sheridan College, teaching the the executive office admin program. And so that's where I kind of started with my part-time resume writing business and the teaching. And I said, oh, I could do both. And I resigned from, I had asked my then employer if they could give me some time off so I could work part-time with them, because I was still exploring. And they said yes. And I did that for 6 months. And after that, I resigned and went into teaching and resume writing. However, I did, after a while, after a year, yes, a year and a little bit, part-time teachers at Sheridan, part-time teachers in the college system, where our pay was cut. And then they asked me if I was coming back. And I said, you know what, teaching is hard work. And as much as I love it, but I couldn't really come back for at such a steep pay cut. And so I left the teaching arena and actually went back into corporate, but this time it was more on a contract basis, because I was not giving up my newfound business. And I did that for a bit, but during the time I'm working with clients, I realized that I needed additional skills. People are asking me, well, now I have the resume, how do I interview? You've been able to change jobs, change careers. How did you manage to do that? And I realized that I needed additional skills. And that sent me off to, I ended up doing the postgraduate program, the postgraduate career development program at Conestoga College. So that's how I actually got into the field of career development. And as I like to say, I have arrived at what I'm really, really passionate about. And it's really helping people to navigate their career, find their career path, and excel.
Thank you for sharing your background and story, Daisy. I know that it was not just a role model for the value of follow-up, but also having the positive mindset, to wait it out and keep trying, and also
Yes.
the value of professional development in that you went back, you studied, and so loaded with role model experiences to copy.
Yes, absolutely. Sure. And you know what? Professional development is very important for me. And I encourage my clients to do that as well, to be always learning. And for me, it's about leading by example. I cannot be advising clients to keep learning while I'm not doing so. And because of that, I ended up, in addition to my certification, my CDP certification, I have actually acquired other certifications in Certified Career Management Coach certified executive leadership development coach, certified workplace strategist, certified resume writer. So I I'm what you would call a professional student, but I have to walk the talk.
Absolutely. And you know what? We talk about the value of lifelong learning in these days, and you have really a role model for that for sure with all your
Right.
certifications.
Yes.
And I'm going to take you a little bit back about to go to and talk about your clients. And I know that you
Yes.
do not like to limit your typical client to immigrants, but you
Mhm.
do help immigrants, and your passion for supporting them is reflected in your work, from the books you've written to the many clients you have supported and you continue to support. So, what advice would you give to new immigrants who are looking for work and starting their career journey in Canada and perhaps feeling, I'm never gonna get my foot into the labor market?
The first advice I would offer is to have them think of Carol Dweck's book, which is mindset. Think in terms of the growth mindset or the fixed mindset. Here in Canada, in North America, or I would say wherever else, you have to realize that you have to start thinking that I can do this. You have to have this attitude of, yes, it's possible and I can do it. And I know as new immigrants arrive, they hear all these different stories. And one of the main things that they hear is that they lack Canadian experience. And that's enough to stump them and to say, oh my goodness, how am I going to cope? How am I going to manage if I don't get Canadian experience? And my advice to them is to admit that they don't have Canadian experience. Of course, I don't have Canadian experience. I'm just arriving, or I just arrived 6 months ago. However, here is what I could offer you from an international perspective. These are my successes. These have been my accomplishments. I've worked with such and such a company. I was able to help them make money, save money, those kind of things, and have the conversation. Be confident about who you are and what value you could bring to the organization. Yes, it's new. You're new to the country, but as I usually like to joke, I said, nothing changed in the plane when you're leaving your country to come to Canada. Nothing changed. Yes, you are in a new land, but learn the culture, go out, meet people, talk to people, outside of your own cultural grouping, so you get to understand other people, you get to know them well. Those are the people you're going to be networking with. And so that would be my advice, to be confident in who you are. Yes, there are going to be days when you're ready to give up, but don't do that. Yes, there are times when you're going to long for back home. Oh, back home, I was such and such. And I would say, you know what, by and large, many of us choose Canada to be our home. It was a choice. And so you are going to meet obstacles, but it doesn't mean you're gonna give up. Try to go over those obstacles, sideways, under, through. Keep focused, because keep in mind where you're going. Where do you want to go? And ask for help. There's no weakness in asking for help. So you see other people out there, talk to them. Tell them you're struggling. How can they help you? At the same time, it's a give and get situation. So if you know you're able to offer some advice or some help, do that as well, because you're building relationships and somebody will get to know you. Volunteering is another option, because in doing that, you will be learning new skills, meeting new people, and those people you'll be meeting might be able to act as references for you. So the sky is the limit when it comes to opportunities here, but it does not mean that it won't be difficult. but it also means you shouldn't give up. You have value. Learn to articulate that to whoever you're speaking with, whether you're in interviews, whether you are in networking, at a networking event, or just talking generally with people. Just learn to know who you are, what your strengths are, and articulate that to them.
This is definitely great advice to whoever is new in Canada, because I think networking, you mentioned helping others anyway, not just to, will come back and support you. And so I appreciate you taking me on and talking about supporting new immigrants. But you're known for supporting people. You're supporting me right here by coming to my interview. And I would love it if you could tell the audience about the Let's Go project, and the book, 21 Resilient Women, Stories of Courage, Growth, and Transformation that resulted from this project.
Right. Well, that's kind of my pet project. It's my pet project, right? And so anything to do with, like you said, I have a passion for immigrants and I have a passion for women. And that started when years ago I worked with UNIFEM. It's now UN Women in New York. And I was exposed to some of the issues, some of the challenges that women all over the world were facing. And the things we take for granted here, other people are fighting for it. And so I developed that passion for supporting women in whatever way I could and I can. So in 2016, I started the Let's Grow project. And I'm sure you're familiar with the acronym GROW. It's a coaching methodology, right? The G for goal, R for reality, O for options or obstacles, and W for will. Do you have the will to win, or do you have the way forward? And I kind of combined them, and I said for 2016, and that was when Hillary Clinton was running for president. And I said, not every one of us can be president of the US or prime minister of Canada, but we as women can be president of our own lives, taking charge of our own lives. And I decided, okay, I was going to start and at some point get to have a high touch, high value coaching conversation with women. I started off, 2016 women, to fit with the year 2016. Obviously, that was not going to happen during 2016. But so I started that. But it has evolved over the years to different things. I put on workshops. Some of them are free and some of them are, paid minimum, depending on where I'm hosting the event. And what I did as well, Dr. Hoda, is I actually added an altruistic philanthropic piece to it. I would say, okay, we're going to have a career renovation workshop and it's free, but let's support support my campaign, Handbag of Hope, for example. So they would come and they would bring, that particular year, we collected new or slightly used handbags. We collected 28 handbags that year, and I distributed them to two nonprofit, one shelter and another nonprofit organization here in Brampton who works with women experiencing violence. So that was year one. Another year, we did the same thing. I had a visioning event and I said, it's free, but bring some diapers for another nonprofit here in Brampton, Knight's Table. And we collected diapers for that organization and distributed them. So we have done it. When I say we, because it's a group of us, some of us are, even though the project is mine, I have had some loyal women. We are friends, we're like sisters. And so I get the ideas and I throw it out, and everybody jump on board. So I'm blessed for that. Another year we did that visioning event was themed, Why Not Me? And again, it was from the perspective that many of us as women, we shy away from opportunities. We're always pushing other people. Oh no, somebody might say, but Hoda, you would be great at that. And you end up saying, you know what, why not ask Daisy? So that year we decided, we are going to focus on why not me? So if the opportunity comes up, we're going to jump at it. And I use a baseball analogy by saying, you're going to, go move up to the plate, and just accept whatever opportunity was being offered. And that year, each attendant received a copy of Michelle Obama's book, Becoming, because she had just written that book. So we have done different things. We have done visioning, where we actually created physical vision board. That was in 2018, I think. And then now to this book. So out of all these meetings and relationships, in 2020, it marked the beginning of a new decade. And when we had that year, our theme was sip and paint. So we're meeting physically, and none of us, I think only 2 people in the group could paint. So I said, let's learn to paint. Let's sip and paint. And so we sipped and we painted. And at the end of that, we had great fun. But at the end of that, I just throw to the ladies. I said, why not write a book? It's the beginning of a decade. It's the end of one decade, 2019, the beginning of another one. Why not write a book? And some people are saying, what? Write a book? And others were, jumping on. And then, I said, okay, let's think about it. So later on in the year, though, a group, a number of people from the group decided, yes, let's go for it. And initially I wanted 20 women to fit the year 2020. But one lady came on and she said, and she made it, we actually got 23 people. And I said, okay, you know what, we're just going to take 20. But one woman was insisting she had to be on it. And I said, you know what, jump on. Because the next year is going to be 2021 anyway. So that's okay. We can do the 21. So that's how the book came around, actually. And honestly, we decided it was just a matter of chronicling our own stories. We would write a book and we would each get this one copy as a legacy of the last decade. But things, changed along the way. And we decided again on the philanthropic side we said, whatever, we would give proceeds of the sale to any women's shelter or women's group or so on. And we're able to do that. And 2 of the main things that we did was we gave to one shelter, we gave them 25 copies of the book plus a $500 check. And another organization, we did the same, 25 copies of the book and $500 as a donation. So it's a project that has kind of leaped from me, really, and incorporated a lot of women who have, we have the same, we're on the same wavelength in terms of not only thinking of us and our individual goals, but also saying to ourselves, who else can we help in our small way? And that's how that book came about. And I'll just add, because we just last Saturday, the same group, the core group, we had Visioning 2022. And the theme this year was Let's Grow Global. And it was so much fun because we had people from, obviously the most of the individuals came from Canada, but we had people joining us from Florida, from France, from Nigeria. So that was good. There wasn't a whole lot, but that was good. And yes, so we all again met to strategize and think of our goal, but then we're building this one vision board online where everybody was putting in ideas and stuff. So yes, we have been busy. And like I said, I really give credit to all the women who jumped on the bandwagon and, helped it to all these events to be successful. Because our theme was Let's Grow Global this year, we also decided to to ask attendees to support two organizations that are supporting women. And one was the UN Women, and they have, lots of projects. They have the Sustainable Development Goals. We asked them to donate, just go to the website and donate $20.22, representing the year 2022. And the other one was the Canadian Women's Foundation. So we just asked people to go to their website and just make a donation, a small donation of $20.22. If they're not able to do that, then they can at least amplify the work that these two organizations are doing. So that was part of our theme for this year.
Definitely worth supporting. Definitely a lot of women listening are going to want to be a part of that group.
I know, I'm telling you, that's the challenge we have. That's the challenge we have now, because like I said, initially it was to have this one conversation, just to have a high value, high touch conversation with, with women along the way. So my goal was never to have an organization that's, kind of, growing and growing and growing in numbers. But now every year we have, these different people coming on board. And, someone asked just last in an email, how are you? Okay, how can we keep in touch? And how can we be a part of that? And I'm actually kind of, wondering how we'll be able to do that on top of what on my main work, which is my business, because like I said, that's my side project, which is not my business, But anyway, we'll see.
Beautiful and amazing work. And I'm very proud of you. You are a role model for many of us, and you have completed many other projects that we won't be able to talk about in this short episode. But for that, for that, you have also won many well-deserved awards, and congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So would you mind sharing any new ideas we know now about that group or projects that you could perhaps tell us a little bit about that you're hoping to accomplish this year, perhaps in the future?
Yes. So I will tell you, first of all, that my word of the year, my WOTY word of the year, which we discussed at our visioning last week, is focus. I just need I have to have that word in front of me, to focus, so that I'm not distracted by every little shiny object that comes my way. My main project actually is I've actually started developing a group coaching program, again, for women. And it's not a job search program. It's more about women who are already they already have their jobs, but they're looking at moving, either to move to another organization, or to either as a career transition, or to move up to, they're looking for promotion. And so what we're looking at would be topics around personal branding, for example, topics around emotional intelligence, building your leadership skills, speaking up, finding your voice, and of course, interviewing. Even though, like I said, it's not so much about the job search, but even if you're asking for a promotion, you need to know how you can articulate your value, how you can say to your boss, these are the things I've accomplished. And that's why we're having this promotional conversation. So it's a group coaching program. It will last for about, I think, 8 weeks. And we cover all these different topics. And right now I'm working with women who are, mid-level, mid to senior level women. We're doing a beta testing right now. And so I'm looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to the engagement and the activities that these women are going to, because that's how you learn. So yes, we will have a space where they can go independently and do their homework and all of that. But then we meet once a week to discuss what they have learned, but also to exchange ideas and learn and grow from each other. So that's going to be my main focus. Like I said, it's not yet ready, but I'm getting there.
I have no doubt that you have the focus to accomplish what you want to accomplish. And I know the project this program will be a very successful one. We'll be looking forward to it. I guess if people want to look for it, they would find it in your website, or
when
once
it's ready,
you have
yes.
it ready and it's ready to go.
Once it's ready, it will be on social media and on my website. Yes.
All right. Well, these were all the questions I have for you today, Daisy. Was there anything else that you wanted to talk about, but I didn't ask you about it, or something to wrap up with our conversation?
Well, I think, you know what, I just want to pay tribute to the women in my circle, because without them, none of these things that I do on the side would have been possible. And so the women of the Let's Grow Project, the women of the 21 Resilient Women, I just want to pay tribute to them. And of course, I want to thank you for the work that you're doing in the career space. And especially now when people are, because of the pandemic, and, we talk about the great resignation and the great, really, now is when people really, really need the services that we offer. And of course, we think also of those who are in the mental health space, because again, that's all a part of, we need that with the pandemic, still ongoing. We need all of us to collaborate and work with our clients and serve them as best as we can.
Absolutely agree with you, Daisy. And thank you so much for being here and for supporting me.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you for joining me and Daisy Wright in this episode of Hoda's Career Info 2022. I hope that Daisy's inspirational tips give you focus. You can connect with Daisy on LinkedIn, Twitter, or by sending her a message to daisy@therightcareer.com. Please remember that you can listen to Hoda's Career Info since it's also dropped as a podcast. To let me know if you're interested in an opportunity to talk about your work, you can send me a direct message on my website, wrightcareerfit.com, where you can also sign up for my newsletter to stay up to date on the latest episodes. Remember to like, subscribe, share, and follow me on social media for more career info. I am your host, Hoda. Until next time, stay inspired and keep moving in productive ways.